It's a lot of niggas in the club tonight. But it's gonna be alright. Cause me and my clique, we don't give a fuck. Sweet Daddy, good job, good job. If you know that you can get it, let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. Let's go. If you know that you can get it, let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. If you want some, come get some.
Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to FTW Future Focus. I am your not-so-humble correspondent, Robert Black, back with you this week, and we have the entire crew with us, and we are not on Weston Protocol, and that is a good thing to celebrate. Now, starting underneath me is the fabulous lady from North Carolina. She is a expert in professional wrestling and a lovely human being. She is the Tigress Ty Nickerson. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. I missed y'all. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you on the panel.
Happy to have you back, girl.
Sweet. And,
Thank you.
And to Ty's side is the silent but deadly man from Chicago, Illinois. He is a connoisseur of professional wrestling extraordinaire, and he's got about as much use for women's wrestling as I do for tornado warnings. He is Marvelous Marcus Buckley. How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm not going to be silent today because thanks to the overwhelming vote in the Motown group, the landslide of a victory, and to the redemption of the GOAT, the greatest man, by a vote of the Motown wrestling group, Robert the Brain Heenan, Bobby Rogers, acknowledge me.
We'll get there, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Right now, we here right now.
Well, go ahead, introduce Bobby Rogers so he can.
No, introduce you next.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to my side is the master of wine, women's song, and cigars. We unfortunately are not live at the cigar bar today, but we are there in spirit. But he is the president of Motown Wrestling Group on Facebook. He is Tony Motown Allen. How's it going, man?
Or as you see in my caption underneath my name, Ty, you'll like it. La Champion of Motown's Wrestling Group.
Hey, people, if we had a belt for that, he'd wear it.
We're not officially at the cigar bar, but I am.
Sweet.
Got me a little Romeo and Juliet. Got me a little Claire right there. Got little Jamie right here. And mommy's always on top.
And thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. We're on the board before we're even done with the introductions. That's how we roll here at FTW Future Focus. And last but definitely not least, the man from Indianapolis, Indiana, by way of Chicago, Illinois, and points therein, the founder of our feast, the president of FTW Network, my pal and friend, former professional wrestler and producer, the mastermind, Bobby Rogers. And how you feeling, sir?
I'm hanging.
Cool.
I'm hanging. Ty, I just want to say this straight off top. Hey, condolences to you and your family.
Yeah.
Didn't really get to say that everybody heard her pass. That's why she wasn't on last week. So everybody reach out, give her some condolences because it's deep, man. That sucks. I hate hearing that, bro. As far as acknowledging someone, I can't acknowledge someone when it's not even warranted to.
What the fuck?
Oh, this time it is, dude.
Really?
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Because guess what? I know by the formal thing of what a debate is, who won that, okay? And actually, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't even say it was a winner, it was a tie.
Oh, what the
You know what I'm saying? But people did vote for who they thought it was, who they felt it was, instead of the debate itself. And you know what? Hey, I lost that part.
Bobby, you got your ass whooped. You didn't lose. You got your ass whooped.
I didn't even see the vote. I didn't even see the vote, to tell you the truth. I didn't pay attention to it because I was dealing with other shit.
Oh no! What you didn't see was nobody voted for your ass. That's what you didn't see. Of course you didn't.
Oh man,
wasn't there. Nothing for you to see.
Oh, okay.
42.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. I mean, that's what I saw was 42. But I'm gonna let him imagine I was LeBron James that game. All right.
Oh dear God.
At least somebody will have a good day today.
I'm gonna start calling
the first time, honestly, but I will say the first time we did the debate with Kobe Bryant, you were a little bit more LeBron James the second time around. Your head wasn't there like it was.
No, it still ain't, man. It still ain't right now.
But the first time you took on somebody that didn't come prepared like Marcus did. Like Marcus brought his A game.
Yeah,
Marcus saw why he's undefeated.
But yeah, I just had the shit going on the last couple of weeks. I'm off from the fucking game.
Well, I'm like Tiger Woods playing football.
All I can say is Bobby smiling on me, looking down, smiled on me. That I redeemed the GOAT. It's the GOAT.
All right. Well, gentlemen, let's move on to bigger and brighter things here at Future Focus. And first item on our agenda is an interesting one that I thought might have come from Ty, actually.
I wish it did, but it really didn't.
Okay. Well, the first, I'll do the introductions for this.
Okay.
Jeff and Matt Hardy, would they be a benefit? Would they be a benefit to today's WWE? Is the question on the table. And since I thought Ty made the question, maybe we should start with her. Would the Hardy Boys be a benefit to today's WWE?
Yes and no, because with me being an 80s baby, 90s child, and I grew up watching Matt and Jeff during the latter part of the Attitude Era and a little bit into the Ruthless Aggression Era. They were an impact on myself and a few others. The reason I said yes and no on them being an impact to today's WWE is that some of the kids today probably don't even know who Matt and Jeff Hardy are. So, I mean, majority of us know who Matt and Jeff Hardy are because we've seen them wrestle. I grew up watching them when I was a teenager. So some of the kids today would know who they are. Some of them would not know who they are. And if they didn't know who Matt and Jeff Hardy were, they can go back and watch some of their past matches to get a good feel on who they are, and maybe they could be an impact on today's WWE. But I'm on the fence when it comes to that question. So yes and no, they probably would not be an impact to today's WWE.
Okay. Marcus, what's your take?
I think they could be if the WWE wanted to focus on tag team wrestling. If they had real tag teams, not just putting two guys together and breaking them up soon afterwards, I think they could. I think they could teach them psychology as in terms of what being doing a tag team match. I think in terms of doing like the ladders and tables matches, I think they could be good in terms of helping to coordinate that. So I think Jeff could be a mentor to some guys and helping them learn from his mistakes. So I think it's possible, absolutely they could, if they ever decide to focus on real tag wrestling.
Tony?
it doesn't really matter if the WWE is going to take a focus on tag team wrestling or not. With all due respect, Ty, they're making zero impact on the WWE whatsoever. It would be kind of cool if they win the NXT tag team titles for the simple fact that they never won those tag team titles. It'd be a little bit like nostalgia for like a lot of us old time fans. But my God, I haven't seen them in Impact yet, but I remember them in AEW. It ain't nothing to write home about watching them in the ring anymore. Like, I would much rather like them to just show like old clips from when they were good instead of like this version of them. I wouldn't mind a run with Matt because with Matt's style, especially since he become woken Matt, he can kind of pull that off a little better. But as far as them in tag team wrestling, it ain't the Hardys no more. It's not. And
yeah, it's not the same momentum like it was when they during their heyday.
Yeah, it's just different now, though. I mean, like now the Hardys, it's like watching Michael Jordan in the Washington Wizards. Like, is he? They still got it somewhat, yeah, but it's just not.
Yeah. I want to add, watching Mabu and his brother Matt wrestle now is like me getting a big jug of Hawaiian punch and drinking it, and it's not the same.
Yeah,
it ain't the same.
And I think what it hurt with the like I said, there's a lot of people watch wrestling that don't know who they are, but I'm sure they heard the name of how great these guys are, though. And I don't want these kids. At the Hardy Boys, like I used to look at Artis Gilmore, because Artis Gilmore used to be a really good basketball player before I watched basketball. Artis Gilmore, yeah, you're laughing because you know exactly where I'm going with this, Marty. The Artis Gilmore I saw, when people talk about how great he used to be, I'm like, that guy?
Yeah.
Well, okay, to be fair, Jordan was still Jordan with the Washington Wizards. It's just he didn't have any backup. The team wasn't there.
That was being a nice comparison. That was being nice to the Hardys.
Okay. Bobby, what do you think?
This is a hard question because there are factors in there that are beyond our control, and this is one of the reasons why I did develop this question.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing if anybody will go to the other factors. My look at it is the key is ties boo Jeff. Jeff has to keep his head on straight. If he doesn't drink, he doesn't do what he do, then guess what? I think they will be a great asset to the WWE. The problem is right now, yes, WWE doesn't have true tag teams. That's one of the problems. They don't seem like that they know how to develop a tag team. It seems like they make everybody a singles wrestler. If they don't work out as a singles wrestler, then we'll throw them together and make them a tag team, which is kind of a backwards thing that I've seen. But hey, who knows? The other part, and this is the most important part. How the fuck do you come back from the booking from AEW? They look like shit with the booking with AEW. And I don't mean the good shit either. I mean the runny diarrhea type shit.
Oh my God.
AEW made them look so bad. And I'm sorry. It made
AEW, they also made themselves look bad in the ring. I get what you say about the booking, but they didn't look good in the ring. Not even FTR.
No, because guess why? They're old. Nobody wants to listen to the older wrestlers and wrestle a style to where both can look good. That was automatic pressure to do what the young boys wanted to do, and that Jeff Hardy and them was just too old to do it. 7 years ago, let's see, what was it? They've been open 5, so I'll say 10 years ago, if they opened AEW with that version of the Hardy Boys and these guys, I think it could have went a lot better. But unfortunately, you got to put Father Time in there. And Father Time looked at him and did the dolphin noise. I mean, I'm just being 100. And it sucks because that's a matchup that you would have loved to see. If you would have had Edge and Christian, and you would have had the Hardy Boys there teaching them guys about tag team wrestling, the fundamentals of tag team wrestling, the rules of tag team wrestling, you would have some dynamic tag teams right now. But no one passed that torch. No one passed that torch. And now everything is suffering. The whole tag team division of almost every single, except TNA, I think, but every single division of tag team wrestling sucks like a hole on Broadway.
Thank you for joining us on FTW.
It does. You got to understand. It personally offends me because I was part of a tag team. I've tag teamed with Pogo, won the belt numerous times. You know what I'm saying? I tag teamed with people at NWP and won the tag team titles numerous times. Tag team wrestling is something that's embedded in my heart that I had to learn, and I learned to love it because I learned the fundamentals and the science of it. These guys ain't doing that shit, man, and it's fucking ridiculous.
But the women's division actually worse, and I take offense to that because I was personally have been inside some women, and to see what these women are doing there really offends me.
What do you mean? They ain't taking their clothes off? I mean, what are you saying?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Wait a minute, Tony. Are you saying you want bra and penny matches back? Are you finally getting on board?
First of all,
I can't say that, bro.
Let's clear something up right here, right now. I was never against it, but the crap they putting out there, trust me, we need bra and panties in AEW. We really do. Marcus is a goddamn genius, and I'm going to acknowledge it because that's what they need right now. Because it's better than the bullshit that AEW one of the divisions is giving us now. Only thing they're doing different now than they did back in the day, you're paying bitches a whole lot more money to fucking suck.
That's all I've been saying for years. All I've been saying.
But hold on. I got to say this, though. Mm-hmm. And this is going to sound weird, but in defense of the women of AEW, not AEW itself, they're not getting booked right either.
No, they getting booked like horseshit.
Yes, and that's the booking of AEW. I'm sorry. I'm looking at how, and the perfect example is Mercedes Moné.
Shit.
Yeah, horrible.
You see how WWE was able to present her and everything. She was a superstar. They put her in position so she could succeed. She's in there in AEW and she is drowning. I mean, she is literally drowning like a guy with a brick on his ankle in the pool, man. It ain't happening.
It's like they don't know what direction to go with her with.
They don't know how to produce her.
Yeah.
They don't know how to produce anybody except, guess what? The Young Bucks, and they suck at that.
Now, I will give them credit for this, though. Jay Cargill became a star there. Now, we can talk about how bad they did there, but Jay Cargill was a superstar.
But look who was behind Jay Cargill. It wasn't the Young Bucks.
I don't care who the fuck is behind when they get over. Get them over.
Yeah, but that's the problem. They won't let the people that know what the fuck they doing it. So it's like, what's the fucking use?
Okay, on that point, I'd like to chime in on this.
Fuck that. Go ahead.
That hurt.
Oh no, I'm just playing. I'm in the mood,
I know, Bobby. It's all good. Okay, I want to approach this from the opposite direction here. The Hardys could be a benefit to WWE if they embraced the creative side of Matt Hardy. As much as I dislike with a passion the dumber aspects of the broken Matt character, if they took that to a darker realm and either teamed it up or put it in opposition to the Wyatt Six and brewed some of that creatively, it would be a great benefit to WWE. I mean, if they did like a House of Horrors match at the Hardys compound with the Wyatt Six, that might be a way to make that format work in a way that it doesn't now. Every time that they've done the Hardy compound crap, it's made me want to puke. I hate that crap. But if you did it with the Wyatt Six and you were creative about it instead of making it a damn comedy and actually went for a horror movie, it would be excellent.
Wait a minute.
All right, Rob.
Wait. I gotta ask this. How don't you see them as a horror movie right now?
Because they put the Wyatt Six or Matt or Broken
The Wyatt
Matt.
Six.
No, they are.
Hardys.
The Hardys? Okay, my bad.
Right. Yeah, no. The Wyatt Six are a horror movie. The okay, I'll put it to you this way. The Wyatt Six are beat the horror movie, like a good horror movie.
Yeah, like in the 80s.
Right. I was searching for a title there, but the Lake House. Okay. The Wyatt.
They're like Stephen King, like Alfred
Hitchcock. The Wyatt Six are the Lake House. Broken Matt Hardy
are your B movies.
They're like Evil Dead, the first one. But it all depends on whether they're willing to be creative enough with Matt's thing in order to like bring it to its logical conclusion and not make a comedy out of it. Then I think they would benefit WWE. But Tony does have a point. In the ring, the Hardys are a little past their expiration date, and they need to slow down quite a bit if they're going to do in-ring.
Yep.
But I will say this though, and I'm about to channel my inner Rob. Like, people watching this, if you close your eyes, the comments that will come out my mouth, you're gonna swear it was Rob.
Okay, I'm coming with you. Hold on, let me do this too. Hold on. Let me put my microphone.
That's a great idea, Rob, and I would trust it if you were the one booking that shit. But unfortunately, it's the WWE, and since it is WWE, my answer was no.
Yes. Well,
that is a perfect rendition. Thank you very much, Tony.
Yes, I appreciate that. It's a sincere form of flattery.
No, because I wasn't even joking. I was being dead ass serious. Like, if I thought there was a possibility we could get that, because I'm like you, I hate the cinematic stuff. I don't really like all that shit. But at this stage in the Hardy trail, especially if you mesh it with the Wyatt Six, and if done right, it could be fucking magic. Yeah. It can be magic and everything, and I think that would be gold for them.
But you're right. Putting it in the hands of WWE creative is like letting a Liber monkey fuck a football. It would look horrible.
Ooh.
And thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining us on
number 4.
No, that's number 5. What one?
Oh, okay. I'm off by 1. It's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we're at 5. We're at 5. Okay. Moving on to our next item of the day. CM Punk. Is he the perfect tweener of in today's WWE?
Should I go ahead and explain what tweener is for some of the people that's going to be watching us?
Absolutely, Bobby.
Okay. A tweener is one of those guys that is not a heel or a face. He's right in between those two modes. Mm-hmm. So Stone Cold Steve Austin was a perfect example. Now, don't get me wrong. You're not going to act like exactly like Stone Cold, but what he was doing in that ring qualifies him as a tweener. Another one is actually a tweener in my eyes is LA Knight.
Yeah.
LA Knight. Yeah. He's actually a tweener, but for some reason WWE has put him in as a face instead of letting him go full tween. So if you are trying to follow this and follow what we're talking about here, that's the type of mode I'm talking about. One that could be a heel 1 minute, a face the next, and not like the Big Show. I mean, something that's really going on. I had to clarify that because they think a Big Show with the Big Show flop face and here. No, that was bullshit. That's what that was. That wasn't a tweener. That wasn't a tweener. That wasn't a face. That was called big bullshit.
I call it Paul Orndorff syndrome. He can't decide what side he's on, and so he switches face and heel constantly.
No, I call that Vince McMahon syndrome that he don't know what the fuck he was doing.
Good point.
But he thought that was such good shit.
Yeah, it was shit.
Janelle Grant didn't think it was good shit. Thank you for joining us on FTW.
Wait. Hold on. Did Janelle Grant come up with that off the top of her head? I'm just saying.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future
Y'all and the vengeful gold digger jokes.
Unfortunately, besides Sue Vince McMahon, because supposed to be on top of the head, but look, they got it in her mouth.
Thank you for joining us. Oh my God!
So Tony, you saying Tony, you saying she was preparing to visit R. Kelly? Okay, I got you.
Oh my God!
We ain't keeping that in the closet. I'm telling you that right now.
Thank you for joining us. We doubled our score in 2 minutes. Oh my God!
Wait a minute, hold on.
Can I get a toot? Can I get a
beep beep?
Slow down.
Hey Tony, over here. Hey Tony, we made a record. We did 12 play in 2 minutes.
Right.
Oh my God.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Wow. See, this is what happens when we try.
But seriously, y'all gonna leave R. Kelly alone, because that man's a musical genius. And back in the early 90s, and I'm sure, Marcus, you can attest to this, R. Kelly did so much for my love life. If you know what I mean.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
By the time we got to Sex Me on 12 play, that's exactly how it was going down.
And thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
He ain't lying. He's not lying.
Of course he's not lying, but that's
every dude in Chicago had that motherfucking album CD and they fucking did.
Man.
That was Magic Panty Dropper.
Oh dear God.
That was Panty Dropper. That's what we call Panty Dropper.
I quit. I'm just gonna. Oh my God.
The only song that wasn't warranted on that album was Half on a Baby. That's the only one we didn't like. Other than that, we're good.
But
thank you for joining us on FTW. Oh my God.
That was the advantage of CDs were out then, though. So you just skip that motherfucker. You have to hit the button fast forward.
Program your way right over that mug.
Right.
No, you ain't listening to that shit. We ain't going to child support court. Fuck that. No,
All right, so we're back on CM Punk, but here's one thing that I do have a question for you, Bobby. Just to kind of make this clear for the fans with tweeners, though.
What?
Somebody from face to heel, I get that, though, but is it a person who like could generate those reactions from the crowd as well? Sometimes get the cheers, sometimes get the boos.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry. That's why Big Show didn't succeed at it, because they really give a fuck. So he didn't generate no
fucking. They
fucking.
They didn't cheer or boo him. They just
exactly.
Like, I think that's why they switched him so much, because it's like he ain't getting a reaction either way. Like.
Well, okay, here's a legitimate question. Would you consider John Cena a tweener because of the reaction he got?
No.
No. He's been a face the whole time. Yeah. Not one time have we ever seen Cena as a heel.
The reason I consider him a tweener because he was an accidental, inadvertent. They fought it, but he was a tweener in his heyday.
No, but you got to do the acts of a heel too. You can't just let the crowd boo you. They booed John Cena because they thought he was shitty, not because he was a fucking heel.
Okay,
I got you.
All right, that clarifies. Anyway,
you can't see me. You can't see me.
Lord have mercy.
Because we don't want to. That was my fault.
I got sunglasses on with a blindfold, and I still don't want to see your ass.
I wear my sunglasses at night so I don't see Cena. Never mind. Tony, go ahead.
Here's the problem that I have with Bloodline.
Is that the sequel to Bird Box?
Something like that.
Here's the thing
except with the blindfolds, we up the ante. Sunglasses and blindfolds.
Maybe.
Here's the thing with CM Punk in the WWE. I think he was a better tweener in AEW than WWE, just for the simple fact that everybody loves him in WWE. This man can fuck up This man could screw over Drew McIntyre in his home country and people cheer. Only CM Punk could do that. If that would have been anybody else that screwed over Drew McIntyre other than CM Punk, there would have been a goddamn riot. If anybody was screwed over CM Punk in Chicago, you best believe that motherfucker would have been in the hospital. He would have ended up in fucking
Cook County
Hospital with that shit. See, but he is your tweener though, because he's doing heel shit. I mean, if it wasn't for the love of the fans, the motherfucker would be heel, straight up heel, and one of the better heels in the company. I like the fact that it's Triple H and not Vince McMahon in charge, because Triple H is not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. If you can keep him doing heel shit and keep getting overdoing it and keep telling these good stories, go with it though. But he's almost like the NWO was, like at a point. NWO was like the height of it, when they was like doing all the heel shit and people loved them. That's CM Punk right now. So he's definitely a trainer, and he's definitely it's definitely work out excellent in the WWE. Tony Khan should have taken notes, because he's also showing you how you guys they lost. The AEW could have done the exact same thing and made so much money. The shit they're doing with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, they could have made so much money in AEW with that shit. They really could have.
I can see that shit now. They do AEW tries to pull that off, and the Young Bucks is in the back. I can't do that. I can't do that. That just doesn't sound. No, I can't do that. Can we get Brian Cutler in here?
Brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Marcus, what's your take, man?
Well, in my opinion, Punk is all the way babyface. He's not a tweener in my mind, because I mean, you look at his, based on the great heel work of Drew right now, I mean, it's warranted. I mean, him screwing over Seth was warranted based on his actions, at Survivor Series. I mean, everything. I mean, it's been Drew that's been fucking with Punk this whole time, and Drew beat him down. So yeah, that warranted him screwing him over at the castle. I mean, plus we all know the fans determine who's babyface and who's heel, no matter what the storyline is. And Punk is being like at least 90% cheered. So whether storyline wise he's a heel or a babyface, the fans are saying he's a babyface. I mean, look at Swerve. Swerve was never technically a babyface. The fans made him that way by not his dancing. I mean, say what you want to say. He became a babyface. And the same thing with Punk. The fans are saying he's completely babyface. So in my mind, he's not even a tweener. He's all the way babyface, in my opinion.
And especially AEW more than anywhere else, so the interests make it. Because for Chris Jericho to be this obnoxious, irritating piece of shit fucking heel that he is, sorry Ty, he had to drop Judas.
I was gonna say, Tony, you better watch what you say about my other boo.
But I mean,
rack that motherfucker down. Fuck that shit.
But that's what he's. But that's what Jericho is going for, and he can never. Jericho could not be the heel learning tree that he is if everybody is singing Judas.
To me, Jericho is like the sinister learning tree.
But he couldn't be that sinister.
I feel like he is the obnoxious, sinister learning tree.
But he wouldn't get that reaction from the fans if he was still coming out to Judas. Because even when people hated him, it was like, boo! But everybody singing along to Judas. Judas in, my
They were like, we love you. They were like, we love you. Ah!
And y'all can keep on doing it. I will sit there on the side like I did the last time. And look at all y'all like y'all done lost y'all fucking mind.
I don't think anybody but Ty was doing that.
What?
I don't think anybody but you was doing that screen, Ty.
I know what that. They need to bring it back though before we get back to CM Punk. Oh, scissor me, daddy.
Oh,
Maybe back in all out in Chicago with whatever bullshit card they come up with that because they just kind of forgot that they had a pay-per-view a week later.
Boy.
Well, Ty, what do you think about Punk as a tweener?
I actually agree with Tony said about Punk being about what Tony said.
Mm-hmm.
He's a I mean, what's the best way to explain it? The best way for me to explain it is I think he's a perfect tweener, but he gives off a little bit of oh Lord. Still trying to find the best way to explain it. I can't explain it the best way, but you know, I think he's a perfect tweener. Just like Marcus said, Swerve didn't start out as a baby face at first. At first, when he was in AEW, he was a heel. But like he said, the fans made him a baby face.
Yeah.
And one thing that Ty said that I absolutely love, and ladies that's watching this, take notes from Ty. She said I agree with Tony. Enough said.
That's all I got to say. I can't explain it the best way possible in my words. I just got to agree with everything Tony says.
Okay, well, let me give this a shot here because I kind of agree with Bobby, but there's it's a little more complicated. And I agree with Tony too, but it's more complicated.
That's what she said.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Lord Jesus. Jesus, take the wheel.
She said that afterwards, too.
Oh, God.
15. We're at 15. Okay.
Hey, Bobby, you can appreciate this. We get an atheist to say that during.
Oh, good Lord. Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Oh, okay.
This is what I got to put up with almost every day in the group. This is what I deal with every day.
Hey, I'm the one taking count of all these things. Anyway.
You said that too.
Oh, I quit.
See, Lord have mercy. And just like that, he threw in the towel.
Okay, Punk is a tweener. Mainly because the fans can love him or hate him, and wrestlers can believably fight him on either side of the aisle, and it'd be fine. So Punk right now, at least, is the very definition of a tweener. He could go in there with Seth and get booed because he screwed him over. He could go in to a match with McIntyre and get cheered for the reasons Marcus mentioned. That's the very definition of a tweener. The way where I differ here is the fact that Punk's reality as a tweener is not altogether organic. First, he has been set up to be this in-between guy, and it's because WWE Creative, from what I've seen, they don't really know what direction to take him in. Otherwise, they would have expanded on his role with McIntyre before now. But because of the shoulder injury, because of the bicep tear.
For the injury than creative, to be honest with you. I think they're doing a phenomenal job with where they're going with Punk and Drew.
Well, okay, it could have been like 50-50, but my point is that WWE Creative got thrown a monkey wrench when Punk got in there. Yes. And they have not fully compensated for it, and therefore we really don't know for an absolute fact where they could have gone with that feud. I mean, McIntyre could have ended up being the straight up heel, but instead they haven't shifted the balance one way or another, so it's an inorganic tweener dynamic. Now, if they had gone in with that mindset in the first place, and that Punk is a complete loose cannon like Brian Pillman, then they would have had an organic tweener, but right now it's inorganic because they started from a position of indecision. So all of you guys are right, but there's a little bit more of a direction problem there. All right. Moving on to our next segment, and Marvelous Marcus Buckley, the father of it, is going to start this out. Our You Tapped Out moment for the week. So, originator, do thy stuff.
My tap out moment of this week, for this week, is the way they are presenting Okada. I don't know what the fuck that was they had him doing on Dynamite when he was like he was in awe of that stupid ass thing that Mercedes Moné does. I mean, I can see if she gave him a lap dance or twerked her little frail little ass.
Oh Lord!
But that and he acting like he drooling over her. I'm like, they making this dude look goofy and stupid as hell. I don't. I mean, it's just awful the way he's being presented right now. I mean, I know they feel that most people and most of their viewers know who Okada is, and yes, he's been on television a few times, but since he's signed with them permanently, he's been booked and presented awfully. I mean, it's just been terrible what they're doing to him. I mean, considering the money they spent on him, and in my opinion, he was a top 10 wrestler in the world before he got here, and he still may be, but AEW is not showing it. They're wasting his talent, and they need to get him away from the Bucks as soon as possible. That was just, I cringed when I saw him doing that shit. It was just awful, and that's my moment.
Your tap out moment.
The next person, Rob, I want to just because it's not my tap out, but Marcus is absolutely right. My opinion, Okada before joining the Elite was so much higher, have so much higher expectations. I can't say he's in my top 10 no more just because of the bull crap that I've seen with him in the Bucks, to be honest with you. But go ahead, Robert. Who's next?
Well, Tony, since you spoke up first, do you have your tap out moment?
I want to let the first lady go before me and then I'll follow her.
Okay. Well, Tigress, what's your tap out?
Before I get started, everybody, I'm gonna need y'all to grab y'all teacups, your pearls, whatever you got, because y'all gonna be shocked about this.
Chicken wings.
My tap out moment has to be Hulk Hogan supporting Donald Trump. Now, I'm not a political person. I don't talk about politics, but I'm sure some of y'all saw the Republic National Convention, Hogan up there doing three much during that and supporting Donald Trump. I don't like it. I don't like Trump. I don't like Hogan. I don't like neither one of them. Ever since the whole thing with Hogan firing that black woman because when he found out she was black and was going to be the spokesperson, well, not really the spokesperson, but her representing Real American Beer, he didn't like it, and she fired the woman because she was black. Like I said, that's the main reason I don't like Hogan, because I feel like Hogan is a racist ever since the recording of him coming out saying that he didn't want his daughter Brooke dating black men. That's what really set me off. So, like I said, Hogan supporting Donald Trump is my tap out moment of the week. Fuck Hogan, fuck Trump. That's all I got to say. It is what it is.
Okay.
And in the words, and let me channel my Iron Sheik here. Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Fuck him.
Oh Lord Jesus!
All right. Before I get into my tap out moment, let's just dive into Hogan don't want a black man to fuck his daughter, Brooke Hogan. Anybody that knows that I really don't like Brooke, but I would bend that bitch over, and she would get 9 inches of black cock so far up her ass, she won't know what hit her.
Testify.
And thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Oh, I had the pen
There's one thing I want to add to the black woman that got fired for representing Real American Beer. If Cody Rhodes or Bret the Hitman Hart had a restaurant or drink out, she would represent them.
Cody is so much like his father when it comes to that brown sugar. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Cody fan, but I do like that about Cody.
Cody likes brandy.
Man.
And it's a sweet brown sugar right there. Y'all can say what y'all want.
Like I said, it's 2020. It's 2024. Some interracial dating is not a big deal like it was back then. So
yes, it is. I don't know what you mean.
Well, for some people,
hold on, it don't make no sense. Why are we sitting up here going around mixing races? We sitting up here doing all this hoochie coochie, and they ain't sitting up there can't stay with them. I don't understand that, man.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
I had a flashback of Southern Indiana. Please excuse me.
The crazy thing is, and as we talk about race, here's the crazy thing. Like, I've been married twice. First time to a white woman, the second time to a black woman. I don't believe we're marrying the same race twice. Next time I get married, it's going to be a Mexican or a midget.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Oh, God.
There's no shortcomings there.
Thank you for joining us on FTW. Oh, my God.
But it's amazing how crazy racism is still today in 2024. Like, I grew up in white suburbs and everything. You know, my early years was dealing with a lot of racist shit and everything. When I was with my first wife, I got with her back in 2000. It was crazy how shit was back then. And I'll be honest with you, like right now, and I'm seeing a white woman right now, and it's like, it's 2024 and motherfuckers still act like this?
Well, hold on. Let me give the world some credit here. From 1990 to 220, what is this? 24. So I say to 2020, 2016, the world was getting better.
It was. I know exactly where you're going with this, and you're right. It was.
And then this big, giant, orange flop head gets in the office, and these dudes get bold because now they got police protection.
Because what we found out when Trump got in office, and I'm not taking sides, and I'm not trying to share political views.
I'll say it on top. I am.
Well, it's my turn, not yours.
Oh, sorry.
But from a race standpoint, when he got in office and some of the shit that was coming out, it was just like, wow, this shit hasn't died. It was just hibernating like those goddamn cicadas.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, not the overgrown houseflies.
And these overgrown houseflies came up from underground and everything, and it felt like it was okay to like be like that again. And we're dealing with this shit in 2024, and it's fucking sickening. And one of the biggest cicadas out there that's like that, and he never really hibernated, was fucking Hulk Hogan, you little racist piece of shit.
To be honest, but to be honest with you, growing up in the, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Growing up in the South, I mean, most of the guys I've messed around with were white. But see, the thing about that was some of the white women that didn't even know me had a problem with it. And I still sit there and think, why is it okay for black men to mess around with white women, but when it comes to me, oh, y'all raise hell?
No,
it is frowned upon so much more if a black woman is with a white man. Like, that is frowned upon so much more for whatever reason. Not saying that's right. I get where you're coming from, Ty, and I don't. But going back to this piece of shit, I mean, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, brother. The video is, because you look at his history, why would he support Trump? But this motherfucker supporting Trump this is our tapped out moment of the week, and it's apparently Biden's tapped out moment of the week. Because Biden tapped out. He said, I'm out this shit. Fuck this shit. You know who made Biden tap out and drop out the fucking race? Hulk Hogan. At that point, he was done. Tell me I'm wrong. Because that old piece of shit, as old as senile as he was and everything, was in it to win it until that Hulk Hogan speech. Hogan made by.
I mean, you're not wrong. You ain't wrong.
So,
you tell the truth.
Okay, so you and Ty had the same tap out.
We had the same tap out. That's why I wanted her to go first, and then I go next.
Okay.
But before we move this on, though, in honor of Booker T, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
Oh my!
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
You know, Booker T has never used the N-word after that promo.
Bobby Rogers, if you dare.
Oh, you been on me?
I do, because guess what? Mine was the same tap out moment.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I kind of figured.
I'm just gonna put it there because I'm sorry. He got up there and embarrassed the shit out of himself and the whole business of wrestling. This is and yeah, I do not like Trump. Let's just say that right off top. I will say that to the camera. Me, tall, 6'5", chocolate, 300-pound motherfucker does not like the orange guy. No, I don't. He's the most.
Either orange guy.
Understand something when I say this. I'm not saying it because he's a Republican. I'm not saying it because of MAGA. I'm saying it because I'm a political science major. I'm saying it because I went to college to learn about politics. So just like when I talk about wrestling, I look at the business side of things and I look at what Trump is about, okay? Again, the same reason why I hate the Young Bucks is because he's going against the fundamentals of what the American society and America is supposed to be, okay? Whenever you lose, smooth transition of power, get them next time. Stop the bull. Oh, he cheated. He's like a 5-year-old that wanted to play Go Fish. It's ridiculous. And then you do that, and then you do some racist stuff and try to hide behind the police. We love the police, but we don't like you black folks. We don't like you Latinos. But people don't understand the dynamics of what, especially Latinos that come from the southern border, have to go through to even get natural or what do they call it, citizenship? Naturalization in this country. If you knew the measure and broke down the numbers of that, you would think America was the biggest ripoff there was in the world. And then for Hulk Hogan, who represents pro wrestling, unfortunately he does, where there is a dynamic in pro wrestling where everyone in that community comes together. Everyone, no whether you're black, white, gay, German, Haitian, hey, you could be from alien from Mars for all we know. We had Statlander, right? We don't know. What we know is that it's supposed to all come together for the show. It's supposed to all come together so all of us have fun and all of us can appreciate each other for the performances coming to ring. And he single-handedly, in one night, flushed that goodwill down the fucking toilet. That's what pisses me off about Hulk Hogan. I could give a fuck what fucking political letter he has on it. Because I'm an independent. I could give a fuck about both of them. But he sat up there and he took the goodwill of wrestling that paid him his money to be able to get popularity to do that and flush the goodwill of professional wrestling down the fucking toilet. That is the most blasphemous and ridiculous thing besides the Young Bucks that you can do when it comes to professional wrestling. And I'm sorry, Hulk Hogan deserves to get his ass kicked everywhere he goes. And I ain't talking about by the Iron Sheik. I'm talking about by 5 burly black and Mexican dudes walking around, whooping his ass, and fucking Brooke right in front of him while he getting his ass whooped.
Thank you for joining us on FTW.
I told you I'm on one today, man. I'm on one.
But that's the unfortunate thing with Hulk Hogan, because as much as I hate him, he's one of the most recognizable names in professional wrestling. And the problem with that is the fact that, like, people who don't know wrestling know him and that's their image of wrestling is him.
Yes.
And that sucks.
And I'm sorry, anybody that's a wrestler fan out there, I don't care what side of the political aisle you are on. If you have common sense about your craft, if you have common sense about your audience members that you sit next to and boo and cheer the heels and faces and everything that comes out, if you are that person that loves Marcus Buckley and what he said about Bobby the Brain Heenan, you should not tolerate. I'm not even saying accept. You should not tolerate what the fuck Hulk Hogan did.
Okay.
Well, you get to follow that, Rob.
Okay. I am going to shock the hell out of this panel right now.
You didn't get an Asian chick. You got a black one.
Thank you for joining us on FTW.
Oh man, you almost had me doing Daniel Bryan. I was like, yes.
Oh no! Imagine this: Rob dropped the Asian chick for a black midget.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Well, small in stature, but you can never judge the size. Anyway.
Thank you for joining us on FTW. Oh my God. All right. Look, my tap out is actually is yours too.
Holy shit!
Yeah. My
oh my God!
Moment was Hulk Hogan at the Republican National
Here's the
Convention.
crazy part about it. Before we went on the air, and Ty was kind of questioning if she could mention it, she said Hulk Hogan. That was my tap out, and I didn't think nobody else would think that. I really did. And when Ty did, I'm like, okay, I'll follow Ty. They're like, okay, it's two of us. I did not think you too.
It's four of us. But see, mine is for a completely different reason, and I will explain it.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Everybody on this panel and that watches this show knows that I have a burr up my ass about celebrities. Okay? I don't think that anybody, and since this involves the fact that it involves Hulk Hogan is almost incidental, but I don't think that anyone should base their vote on any kind of endorsement, especially if it comes from a famous person.
You're right, Rob, but unfortunately, do you have any idea how many votes that he got because of that?
Now, see, that's my point. It shouldn't get any votes at all, because if you're going to exercise your constitutional right to elect someone to office, you need to research what they stand for. You need to vote for the person who you think can do the job the best and who values what you value. And if you're just, it shouldn't matter whether it's Hulk Hogan or Jack Black or George Clooney or Kid Rock or Frank Sinatra. You should never, ever vote for someone just because a famous person or a person that you think is cool told you to. You should never do that. Never, ever should you do that. You should vote based on cognizance and what you truly believe the direction of the country should be, not because somebody who used to be a famous wrestler gets up in front of the world and rips a damn shirt off. I don't care why. It doesn't care for who. But never vote based on an endorsement. And that's
and out of respect for wrestlers, he was never a wrestler. He was a sports entertainer.
However you choose to.
I got to say.
Well, George Clooney isn't an actor. He's just a schmuck that looks good in front of a camera.
All right, let me go ahead and chime in on this, because what you said is very important.
This is like the most heated tap out I've seen.
Yeah.
And it's also the first one that like 4 out of 5 people had the same one.
The thing is not only does Hulk Hogan not need to do it because of the camaraderie that's supposed to be in a professional wrestling setting? You're right. People themselves, and that's talking about all you fans. Get mad at me if you want to, cuss me out online. I don't give a shit. I've been called worse. But you fans should not be going because, oh my God, Hulk Hogan said vote for him. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Yeah, yeah. No. Do what I did. Go to school. Learn what the political system is. Don't listen to your parents. And I hate saying this because you should listen to your parents on a lot of shit, but don't listen to your parents. Don't listen to nobody. Study for yourself. Because for so long.
Go to school, just do your research.
But that's still going to school in my book. That's still going to school in my book.
Oh, okay. I just mean actually taking classes and everything. Like, no, just do your research.
But you also got to have good book guidance from an even person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was lucky enough to have a professor. His name was Mr. Kernatz. This dude was the coolest dude on earth. If you seen him, you would not even think he was a teacher. Dude wore jeans all the time, t-shirt that was messed up. I mean, hair all flopped out. I mean, but he was smart. Dude told it right down the middle. Dude taught us what the system itself was about and the principle of the system, the fundamentals of what political science is about. If you learn and you look at, I don't care who says what, but what the system is supposed to do and what the system is supposed to be about, you will easily see who's right and who's wrong in our political system. Do your research and learn what the system and how everything works and what is taken and what is not shown to you and who are the main ones that's not showing it.
Yeah.
Once you see that, you will go ahead and make your opinion on what the heck's going on and vote accordingly. Get your due diligence first.
I can't hear you guys at all.
Do your due diligence.
Well, let's move on to moment of the week, and let's start with Ty, since she's the one that reaped the whirlwind.
I didn't reap the whirlwind. I basically made the whirlwind explode.
You started the tornado, so I'll let you bring in the calm.
Okay, guys. This was intended for last week's moment of the week, but since I wasn't on last week, my moment of the week has to be the return of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Okay.
Now, what would have made it better was she brought Jamie Hayter with her. But I like the feud. You mean Reba, Rebel, whatever she goes by these days?
Rebel.
I like the feud she has going on with Mercedes Moné. I absolutely do. I'm glad she returned. It's been a long time coming. Better late than never. That's pretty much my moment of the week. The return of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Cool. Marcus, you go next. You've been quiet too long.
Okay. My moment of the week was the match with Ospreay and MJ on Dynamite. More so than a match. Just the heel work of MJF. I mean, this reminded me of Roddy Piper. The way he worked as a heel. Only thing I could say was welcome back, heel MJF. I mean, to me, he was brilliant. I mean, I just loved everything he did in that match. I mean, the match itself was good. I thought his match with Danielson was better, but his work as a heel was just like just great. I mean, I was getting tired of him as a babyface. He was too damn corny, in my opinion. I mean, he never ever needs to be face again. He's a heel.
He's Roddy Piper.
And I just thought it was just great work. I mean, kudos to heel MJF. That's my moment.
Cool. Bobby?
No, can I go next?
Oh, sure. Go ahead, Motown.
And the reason I say I'm going next is because my moment of the week did happen on AEW Dynamite. And I heard that it was a 60-minute match. I was like, I didn't know they were doing 60 minutes though, but I watched that match. And I don't think that match would have been as good if MJF was still like babyface tweener or whatever he was prior to being full-fledged heel. The heel shit that he was doing in that match, I thought really added to it. I enjoyed that match. I agree with you, Marcus, because when I heard everybody talk about this is match of the year, that's hard to say. And I'm like you, like I think the 60-minute match that he did with Danielson was better than this one. But this match was very, very, very good. Yeah. I love this match. I love the psychology of this match. You gotta have the right in today's wrestling. You gotta have the right two people to do a 60-minute Broadway. Back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, you could put anybody in there with Ric Flair and had a good 60-minute match. But the fans' attention to detail, the fans interacting, the way fans are today, they're not like they were back in the 80s and 90s when we started watching wrestling. So I give them so much credit for how they kept it interesting. They kept it entertaining and everything. It did not feel long, drawn out, boring or anything like that. A lot of heel tags that he was doing was perfect. I love how Will Ospreay went for the Tiger Driver that he said he was never going to do again. And it was conflicted, and ultimately that cost him the match. The way he won it kept Ospreay looking strong because you don't lead this match looking weak. It don't matter who won or who lost. And I did not expect MJF to win that title. I did not. Like, I was shocked that he won the match. So you had a lot of great moments in this match. You had a very entertaining match. And you had the, oh my God, finish to the match as well that you did not really see coming. Because I'm sure a lot of people kind of felt the same way as I did. Like, they're not taking the title off Ospreay. But a majority of people didn't believe that he was going to lose to Swerve Strickland. Then turn around and lose to MJF. Didn't see that coming. Great storytelling. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It gives me hope. I mean, and not only this, but for some of the things they're doing, the men's division is carrying it. And it's kind of weird because, like, when AEW started, the tag team division was carrying the company. The tag team division was phenomenal. Right now, the men are carrying it. They're doing some good stuff with some of the guys. And I'm really enjoying what they're doing with Will Ospreay, with fucking MJF, with Swerve Strickland, with Christian Cage. Christian Cage is on a whole nother level himself and everything. So I don't think that AEW is as bad as it was a little while back when they were like kind of going through a lot of growing pains. I feel like they're coming out of it, and this match really gave me hope. I just wish that they would say some of this shit for All Out Chicago, though. Like, we had this Broadway that was fucking phenomenal on free TV. We're getting Blood and Guts next week on free TV. You got a big-ass pay-per-view in Chicago coming up a week after fucking Wembley. Can we say some of this shit? Can we? Can we say some of this shit in Chicago?
I'll address that in a minute, but first, Bobby, what's your moment?
That 60-minute match.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait. Elizabeth, you hear that? I'm coming to join you.
It's the big one. You hear that, Elizabeth? I'm coming to join you, honey.
I mean, you can't deny that match. I give credit where credit is due. That match was awesome. I watched it twice, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of the show was shit, but that match was on point.
Whoa. I did like Swerve.
Oh, yeah. Swerve was cool. Like I said, most of the rest of the show was shit. Okay, we'll put it like that.
It was hard to follow that, though.
Yeah, you can, and that's why I don't understand why they had it there. They should have had that at the top of the 9 o'clock hour. I mean, of course, you don't want to have them watch 10 o'clock on, but you should have put that at 9 o'clock hour. That was bad placing, bad booking, you know. But I think they were afraid of not keeping that audience. They
Yeah.
can't hold that audience that long.
Should be on two separate shows. Shouldn't he be on the same show? Unless it's a
It
paper.
should, because you can't have a world title match on the same show as that. That was just bad booking. I get what they're trying to do because it was their 250 show, but no, you can't book both those matches in the same night on free TV.
Okay, my moment is actually kind of unique. It comes from Motown Wrestling Group, and it was something that that the Marvelous One, Marcus Buckley, actually posted. And it kind of goes along with what we were just with Motown and Bobby's moment, in that, number one, we have gotten a lot of good, very quality wrestling on free TV lately from both AEW, WWE, and NXT. But Marcus reposted a list of ratings, raw ratings for well, not only for Raw but for SmackDown, NXT, and Dynamite. And with the exception of Raw, all of the crowds grew. Year by year, according to the list Marcus posted, the audience and overall overall people watching for every show except Raw grew. So not only are we getting good wrestling on TV, which arguably there should be more saved for the pay-per-view, I get that, but great wrestling on free TV is something that we waited for decades, and I can appreciate that for what it is. But the fact that we've been talking about ratings so long on this show, and the fact that Marcus, a member of our panel, used that post on Motown Wrestling Group to prove that the overall audience for professional wrestling, including Dynamite, is growing, that gives me hope for the future. And so that is my moment of the week, and I have to thank Marcus for that. I appreciate you, sir, for giving me hope for professional wrestling's future. I appreciate you. I acknowledge you.
Actually, I meant to tag. I meant to tag you on that. Actually, because I said Rob will get a kick out of this.
Yes, and I did.
And I think it is great for the wrestling business itself. Like, it doesn't matter if you're like love WWE and hate AEW, or love AEW, hate WWE, or this is good for business though, because if AEW succeeds, it's going to make WWE do better. For AEW, for them to do better, they need to. I think they need to stay in their lane and focus on themselves and not worry about WWE. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like they're kind of doing that. I don't feel like the programming is trying to counter what WWE does. Like, I think they are trying to stay in their lane and just focus on them, which is good, though, because I think my frustration with how much they focused on WWE in the past, that's one of the factors that killed WCW.
Now, the AEW, to make a point here, AEW is very much succeeding overseas. Their Dynamite is ranked number 1 on its networks in the UK, in Japan, in Central Europe, and in other places besides. So AEW is succeeding. It's just they need to make up ground in the United States.
And Marcus, I'm not sure, that posted like original. There's a couple of different posts, but originally it sounded like they want to do like 100,000 people in Dallas. And Tony Khan was like, that's kind of off the table right now.
He squashed the rumor.
He pumped the brakes on that. And I'm happy he did that. Like, slow down, killer.
That was a rumor that got squashed. I was sad about that, but it was a rumor that got squashed.
I wasn't.
They can do that in Wembley, but I don't think they can do that here just yet.
Hell no, they can't do it in the United States. They don't have a fan base here.
No.
If you remember episodes back, I've always said AEW has an international audience. It does not have an American audience. That's the problem. They feed to the international audience, but they can't feed to the American audience. They should really do a world tour.
Yeah.
That's what they should do. They should do a few shows here, but mostly be out there televising here.
They need to do what WWE is doing, because WWE is tapping into the international audience. I think AEW should do that more. Have your super shows here, like stack your cards here for like Dynamite, but do your pay-per-views overseas.
No, I think they should do Dynamite overseas. I don't think they should be doing a lot of them here, because that's the audience that feeds to what they're doing. I would do the Dynamites there, and I would do some pay-per-views there. I would say 60% of my shows would be overseas if I was AEW. Let WWE have
the US. They not drawn as big over here though, because they'll sell out Chicago regardless of what's there.
Not anymore.
Yeah, they had the downsides. Wintrust is not even half as big as United Center.
So ain't. So my thing is this: they should go overseas for 60% of their shows. Only 40% of their shows should be here in the United States.
Well, the market is growing. I think AEW they're trying, like I've said in the past, AEW is trying to bring those styles of wrestling to an American market, and in a way they've already done it and succeeded. It's not.
I can't call this a success. I can't call this a success. I can't.
Well, it's not a complete success yet.
No, it's not. It's no such thing as a complete. Either you're a success or you're not, and they're not. AEW is not a success in the United States, but overseas they're an overwhelming success. I mean, I will give them their props all day on that. Overseas, they are overwhelming success, better than WWE. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to anything here domestically inside the United States,
Biden really did tap out.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Biden.
Yeah, I was just watching it. I was watching the news earlier, and they said that he's endorsing Kamala Harris.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I shit you not.
You joking?
Okay, now wait a minute. Is he just dropping out of the race, or is he resigning the presidency?
He's dropping out of the race.
He's going to focus on his duties for the remainder of his terms, and that's what all his focus will be. But yeah, he's out of the race.
Yeah, he's endorsing his vice president, Kamala Harris. I just switched it over to my local news about a couple of minutes ago, and they were saying that. I was like, wow, Biden really did tap the fuck out.
Oh, history live on air for FTW Future Focus. Okay. Breaking news.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
We're running behind here.
And we're not even a political program, technically, but...
And I don't even talk politics, so I just throw it in there.
But anyway, thank you, Ty Nickerson, for that wonderful journalistic break-in. Thank you much for that.
Because when he
Thanks, guys. Oh God, Jericho's gonna fucking kill me if he found out I said that.
Wow.
Okay, and that is a good transition point for our next topic, which is the Bloodline feud. Is it the greatest feud in history, or does it have the potential to be the greatest feud in history? And Bobby, let's start off with you.
Oh. Look, man. I don't know how you could say it ain't. It's no way to say it's not. They have torn this whole scene of professional wrestling up. They're getting all their family members. I'm waiting on Baby for Two with his diaper on to get in there.
Baby for Two.
You don't want the stink face from him.
No, you don't.
Not.
No, you don't.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Especially after you had too much milk. You definitely don't want that.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Focus. The diaper edition. Oh, boy.
But, I mean, honestly, this whole dynamic and everything that has played through this has been of one man and one man only, who was cheated out of being the greatest advocate of all time.
Oh.
And that's Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman.
He could be the greatest manager.
Paul Heyman is behind all of this. Paul Heyman is the one that is guiding everyone in this. Paul Heyman is the one that has put this company and every pay-per-view this has been on the map because of what he has done and what he has instructed on this bloodline. This is a masterful performance. I'm sorry. Roman Reigns fell in line. He got his groove. You have new guys coming in that are coming in and being top shelf right off top. I'm sorry. Let's just be real. I know everybody like New Japan. Some people, you guys like New Japan or whatever. But Tommy Tonga and them, come on, man. If they would have came in regular, they would have been peanuts.
Yeah.
But guess what? Paul Heyman and his vision has made them into super duper stars.
Yes, I agree with that.
Oh, Jacob Patu, I'm sorry. He's just a natural superstar. That dude is he's a hybrid that I think should be the one that ultimately leads the bloodline and gets the world title. You have congealed a group of men that is so far off, and Umaga's son ain't even there yet. That's what I'm waiting on because I think it's gonna be Jacob Patu and Umaga's son. It's gonna end up being them 5 to 10 years down the road, probably 5.
The rumor is he's gonna join old school bloodline.
Right. So you got the werewolf versus Jacob, the biggest dynamic in history, and everything that's leading up to this. And think about it. It's been how many years Roman was champion? 3. You still got the storyline going, which is going to probably be another 2.5 before another one of them get a title. And then one of them get a title, and you know they're going to bounce it backwards and forward. So this family keeps, the dynamic is just awesome. I'm sorry. You can see it where a family is fighting someone else. And you can understand that dynamic. But you have a family that's fighting within themselves for control of themselves. Everybody's looking at this like Jerry Springer. So, yeah, I gotta say it's probably the greatest faction that has happened. And I'm putting that the greatest rivalry. And I'm putting that over the 4 Horsemen versus everybody. This is going way off the charts.
Well, in the interest of fairness, Marcus, I'll let you go next.
I mean, so far everything has been great. The only thing that concerns me is that every time I look up, I hear there's more Samoans coming, and I'm kind of worried about the NWO effects, where we may have like Samoan red and black, Samoan wolf pack, and all that kind of shit. I hope they manage it well. I mean, I wouldn't be worried about if Bobby Heenan was live doing it. Then I would have utmost confidence at how much greater this could be possibly. But, with that being said, everything has been great so far. And I agree. It does have the potential to be one of the greatest feuds of all time. I just hope they don't overdo it with all the Samoans coming in.
Ty.
I do agree with Marcus. This feud with the bloodline storytelling, it is off the charts. It's hotter than a Carolina Reaper. I agree with Marcus. What my concern also is more Samoans coming out the woodwork. They already talking about Hikuleo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. They're trying to bring him in too. I mean, I do like the whole feud with the bloodline. It's the best thing since sliced bread. But like I said, the most of my worries is how many damn Samoans gonna come out the woodwork and try to join.
Okay, Motown. What do you
They
think?
multiply. They multiply like them damn
Like
cicadas.
Oh, and they're gonna be
I
around
thought you was
forever.
gonna say baby's kids.
Oh no! Oh hell no! I ain't going that far.
Wait, Jacob Fatu got like 7 kids though, so this is gonna be generational.
Wait a minute. I didn't want to say this, but Jacob Fatu might be the next Nick Cannon if he keeps having more kids.
I don't think he's stopping.
Good Lord.
He was making all these kids on indie money. So now he's making WWE money. Shit.
Oh
Thank
Lord!
you for joining us on FTW Future
Like I
Focus.
said, he's gonna be the next Nick Cannon when it comes to making babies. Nick Cannon already got 12. Jacob already got 7. So
Good God.
They playing Hines. Somebody got to catch up.
oh
Thank you
Lord!
for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Oh my God. Okay. Motown, if you dare.
The one thing I like, and Bobby touched on it too, though, like the Gorillas of Destiny, we heard so much about. We seen them on YouTube. We know there's some bad motherfuckers though, but I don't think if it wasn't for this storyline, I think when they did, I mean, because a lot of these guys are going to make it to WWE regardless, though. They were going to get there no matter how they got there. But this storyline is making them relevant. I think the GOD, without the storyline, would have been like the OC, in my opinion. This storyline, this feud, I mean, everything about the Bloodline, they're making money, they're drawing attention. Like Roman Reigns wasn't on TV all the time though, but SmackDown was the shit during his reign when he was there. And when he wasn't there, Paul Heyman kept the shit relevant. They made a star out of Sami Zayn with this storyline. Like Sami Zayn would not be what he is now if he wasn't part of the Bloodline feud. And arguably, a lot of people felt like he should have been one of the dethroned Reigns at that point of this feud. And I firmly believe he should have been one wrestling Roman Reigns at WrestleMania the year that Cody did. Main event, Jey Uso yeeting all over the place. Motherfucker became a star. He's a star. When Roman Reigns come back, he's going to be the biggest star in the industry.
Oh,
He's going to be like I think he's going to be somewhat of a tweener, but not really because he's over now. I think Solo Sikoa, whether you think he's a tribal chief or not, or whether you like him or not, Solo Sikoa is a bigger deal because of all this. There was some phenomenal feuds in the history of wrestling. And I think back in the day, especially the NWA with the Road Warriors and the Midnight Express, with the with the Horsemen feuding with Dusty Rhodes. I mean, we're talking about some great feuds. Rock, Stone Cold was a great feud. Rock, McMahon was a great feud. The Freebird and the Von Erich was an epic feud. In my opinion, one of the greatest feuds out there because that feud defined a whole company. But I love what they're doing with this, and the sky's the limit and everything. And I think what I love about this feud is the fact it's elevating so many people. You're making stars out of this feud. You're keeping the audience captivated, and you're developing stars. A lot of our great feuds in the past involved ready-made stars already. I think the only one that probably didn't have a ready-made star when the feud started was the feud between Flair and Sting. But the way Flair made Sting a superstar with that feud, they're doing this on multiple levels. Like, without the Bloodline, Sami Zayn do not recover from Jackass. He does not. Paul Heyman and his vision. Because the whole feud, Paul Heyman is the puppet master, without a doubt. The stuff that he's doing, he's the puppet master in all this. He's doing shit without saying shit. He's the mouthpiece, but doesn't have to be the mouthpiece. And we got bigger stars because of this feud, and we got more to come. I don't think it's going to get to the level of NWO Red and Black and original NWO as far as like that amount of people being involved. But it is going to be somewhat similar though, because it's going to be old school Bloodline, new school Bloodline. You have a family warfare going on. It's just not going to have the numbers that the NWO had. It's going to make it ridiculous. So I think that they're going to make it work and everything. This feud is one of the best in the business today. One of the best that we've seen it's definitely one of the best we've seen in 25 years. And they're doing so great with feuds right now too, though, because like I love the fact that Triple H is in charge and Vince McMahon is not, because the Bloodline. The Liv Morgan Rhea Ripley with Dominic in there is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the CM Punk shit they're doing with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, the feuding is so much better in WWE, but the Bloodline is definitely one of the best we've seen in 25 years. It's hard for me to say the best ever, but it's the best of this generation that we've seen in the last 25, 30 years, without a doubt.
Okay. Couple of points. I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's the best ever, because it's standing on the shoulders of stuff like the Horsemen, like the NWO, like Devastation Incorporated, and other things that came before it. The Bloodline feud and the Bloodline faction are in the mold of those things that came before it. So I can't say it's the greatest of all time. I will agree with Tony and Bobby a little bit in that it's probably the best organized group and storyline in the past 25 years. But I would say that if the Bloodline had ended at WrestleMania 40, but it didn't. I see, Marcus and I have the same fear that the Bloodline is going to go down the same road that the NWO did with Hollywood and Wolfpack. It's just they're going to like switch it up a little bit to where the old Bloodline is the babyface faction and the new Bloodline is the heel faction, which freshens it up a little bit, but it's still going to get stale because it's been going for 4 years, going on 4 years now. And, as much as I can appreciate the fact that it's got that much legs to it and that it's got that many people over, you can't put all your eggs in one basket, and that's what WWE is doing right now with the Bloodline. Bloodline on SmackDown, Judgment Day on Raw, and they're putting all their eggs in one of two baskets, and eventually we got to move on from it. Now, that doesn't mean... But that doesn't mean that I completely disagree with you guys. It's just that Marcus has a very good point in that we're going into Wolfpack versus Hollywood territory, and I would as much trust as I put in Paul Heyman, I do not have trust in Bruce Pritchard and the rest of WWE creative to not completely screw this up at some point. But I would agree with everything that Bobby and Motown are saying. If they had completely broken up the Bloodline at WrestleMania 40 and just had Solo Sikoa and the Guerrillas of Destiny do their thing separately and start a new faction instead of just calling it the Bloodline and giving the Skittles of power across the neck of Solo Sikoa. I understand where you're coming from, but it's a little bit too much for me.
Okay.
Okay, and our final bit of business for today is going to involve Tony Khan. Is he the answer to what pro wrestling needed at the time? That was the way that Bobby put it in the notes. I'm not exactly sure what he meant, so I'm going to let him go first so he can explain it a little bit.
Well, the dynamic back there was we needed an alternative to WWE because WWE was sucking
Yes.
badly. So my question is was Tony Khan the answer to the sucking of WWE?
May I go first on this one?
Oh yes, that's what I figured was going to happen.
Yes, please, let me get my teeth in there.
Second?
What's that?
I like to go second.
Thank you for. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you said something. That one doesn't count.
Whoa.
That one doesn't count.
I ain't going in after you, Rob. I'm sorry.
No, come on. I'm sorry. That was a mistake. All right, I think. Okay. I do not believe that Tony Khan was the guy who was like the perfect person to bring this all about. I don't. Tony Khan happened to be the guy that did it. He stepped up and financed the vision. Yes, but Tony Khan was not the guy to revitalize pro wrestling at that time. It wasn't Tony Khan. It was all of us. 2018, the first All In. Me and Bobby were there. And it was the spirit of that event that was the answer to the alternative to WWE for the revitalization of pro wrestling. If not for the first All In, WWE would still be on cruise control, and the ratings would be in the toilet right now, and none of the things that we would have right now would be happening. It wasn't Tony Khan. It was All In. It was truly the Woodstock of professional wrestling in more ways than one. At the Hyatt Regency in Schaumburg, there was 4 bathrooms for 10,000 people. It was the Woodstock of wrestling.
Yes, it was.
Yes. And but my answer to that is it wasn't Tony Khan. It was us. It was the fans. It was All In, the first one, and that spirit is still alive today. And that's why I'm siding with the revolutionaries in the wrestling business. And as bad as AEW can make mistakes, and they've made plenty of them and still are, I am still in with them because the spirit of that first All In is still in me, and we need it. My God, do we need it? And even WWE needs it. So that's my answer. Tony Khan was not the answer to pro wrestling revitalization back then. We are the answer. You and me and all of us, the fans, were the answer. So whoever wants to take it next.
I'm going to follow you on this one because
Tony, go ahead, man.
My answer is the opposite of yours. As much as we shit on his booking, as much as we shit on Tony Khan for some of the decisions that he made, it is something that we have needed for damn near 20 years at that time.
Yes.
He brought WCW in 2001. When I say he, you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But WCW was dead before he brought it, to be honest with you. What we were getting in from 2000, when we got to the last 2 years in WCW, that shit was dead before he brought it. He didn't buy it wasn't like WCW was an up and coming strong competitor to WWE. No, Vince McMahon shot Old Yeller in the head 2 years after they deserved a fucking bullet. So what Tony Khan brought to us was 20 years of waiting for that. Mm-hmm. And the reason I give Tony Khan credit, I agree with what you're saying. The fans made it happen. The wrestlers made it happen. The past, I get everything that you're saying. It's something that we needed for 20 years. and we could not get without Tony Khan. Everybody had the vision, everybody had the desire, everybody had the passion, everybody wanted it. But Tony Khan and his wallet actually made it happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for
fair enough.
I'm not saying he's the right person for it, but Jesus Christ. We could throw a lot of names out there that could have done it, but none of them have done it, though. Tony Khan is the first one to actually do it. So ROH tried and could not do it because they didn't have the finances to do it.
Dixie Carter tried it.
CNA tried. Didn't have the finances to do it. Then a lot of people had tried and failed, and you got to get a motherfucker credit, though, because the mistakes that he has made would have bankrupt ROH. ROH would not be here today with what he was doing decision-wise. Not money-wise, but decision-wise. Same thing with TNA. TNA would not be here today with some of the decisions he made. So I get why you don't want to give him the credit because he doesn't deserve the credit, but you can't deny the fact that, like, All In 2018, without his financial backing and while having that guy that believed, I'm sorry, I know I'm going to piss off Bobby, though, but that believed in the vision of the Young Bucks, that believed in the vision of Kenny Omega, that believed in the vision of Cody Rhodes, because those wrestlers, I mean, they had the passion and belief, and they pitched it to Tony Khan, and he felt it, and he went with it. We would not be here without Tony Khan as far as where wrestling is today. I'm not saying the WWE wouldn't be any better, would not have improved without AEW. I think they would have improved somewhat because of all the shit with Vince McMahon and the whole change of leadership there. But you need competition. I think WWE would be better today than they were like 5 years ago, but I don't think they would have been as good today without AEW. They would have been on cruise control. Like they would have pacified the fans, but giving us a little bit different than what this man did. But what they did was giving us like and the shit that we've been getting was crap. Like I don't think the Bloodline angle would happen if it wasn't for AEW and they're having to push the envelope. The real Ripley, Liv Morgan. I mean, they're making a fucking star out of Liv Morgan. I mean, think about that.
How the hell does that happen?
But it has.
Well, she's not the head of the table. We know that.
Boy.
If it wasn't for AEW, CM Punk would still be retired. So we wouldn't have that phenomenal storyline. So AEW is responsible, directly or indirectly, whatever the case may be, their existence has influenced a lot in a positive way. We talk about the negatives, a lot of them, and man, them motherfuckers give us a lot of negatives to talk about.
Boy.
But the success, and I honestly think some of the success led to the downfall of like the Young Bucks and everything, because in all honesty, 2018, 2019, 2020, I was a Buck fan. I seriously was. I was happy for them and everything. I enjoyed their matches. Marcus, me and you, we seen the Young Bucks countless times in Chicago Ridge and walked out of there like, man, that was some good shit. I think I all went to their heads. As it progressed, it hasn't been the greatest, but we needed Tony Khan to make that shit happen. Tony Khan with the Bucks, with Cody Rhodes, with Kenny Omega. I'm sorry, I can't get Hangman Adam Page credit on all this. I just think
no.
Page was just like a fucking like the little side piece. That was, like, because I remember when they had their first world championship. It was Hangman Adam Page versus Chris Jericho, and a lot of people thought that Hangman Adam Page should have been the first champion. I'm so happy because Le Champion was the perfect person to win that title.
I agree.
But
let me calm down.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ty's screen will be flooded in about 5 minutes.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus. Oh my God.
We hit 30.
And he's going to say that afterwards as well.
Like, we hit 30. They mine.
1, 2, 5, 10.
Yeah.
Is that 30? Did I miss one?
Oh, you missed one. If you have 29, you missed one. We have 30.
Okay, 30 it is. Oh my God.
Yeah, can I go next on this one?
Absolutely, Marcus.
Hey, go ahead.
I agree with both Tony and Rob. I do think the fans made it happen, and Tony stole a lot of my points. It gave me hope when they brought guys like the Young Bucks, Omega, back when they were good. Well, at one point, but what gave me there were two things that two main reasons why I thought that Tony Khan was the right person at this time. One is because for me, that he's coming from a family that had more money than Vince. Okay, that really encouraged me. That it's a major wrestling promotion that has.
That's why they're still here.
But the main reason that gave me hope was that Tony Khan was coming to after the first pay-per-view, he was coming in with major television. That's what really gave me hope that he was coming in with Turner. That this is not HD Net, this is not fucking the Nashville Network or Access. This was Turner. And it's like, okay, they have a chance. They've got a chance because they've got major television, which we all know is the biggest thing that for any successful wrestling promotion is you've got to have television.
Marcus, like Eric Bischoff said when they was going to buy WCW
right.
is useless without a television deal.
Exactly. And when I heard that he started a company with major television and deep pockets, I'm like, okay, those are the two reasons. Not just anybody could have came in and gotten television. Tony Khan used his resources, his father's name, and he secured television. Not even people with deep pockets might not be able to secure Turner. So that's the main reason why I think he was absolutely the right person at that time. Now, we all know he should have hired some wrestling minds, and he shouldn't have he shouldn't have gave all the EVPs their positions. We all know that, but he secured Turner. They said not everybody could have did that. So absolutely, I think he was the right person at the time.
Okay, let's do
before
next.
Before we move on, ask a question though. The 2018, the first all out, was that the one with Cody and Dustin?
Yeah no.
It wasn't.
No, the Double or Nothing was Cody and Dustin. The first all in, the very first one in 2018 was Cody versus Nick Aldis.
Oh yeah,
for the right. NWA World Title.
Oh shit! Okay,
right. That's right.
Okay, because my first pay per view, because me and my buddy Gary, because they're doing $60 pay per views, even back then. The one with Dustin and Double or Nothing. This one,
the first Double or Nothing in Vegas.
I love that pay per view.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was phenomenal. And to be honest with you, that match I had no desire to see whatsoever. I had no desire to see Dustin and Cody go at it. And they tore the house.
Oh, it was fantastic. It won PWI's Match of the Year.
It shocked the fuck out of me.
And that promo at the end, I was bawling.
I love it when I think a match is going to be horse shit and have no desire to watch it. And I'm sitting there like, oh shit. Man.
Yeah, it was a great match. Dustin bled. He tapped an artery in honor of his dad, and that speech at the end, there was not a dry eye in that arena, and I was sitting next to my brother, and that was a year before he passed away.
Because call me crazy. You can call me crazy if you want to. I might be in the minority of this though, but even to this day though, I was felt that Dustin was better than Cody, in my opinion.
That's valid. That's valid. Let's do Ty next, and then Bobby can close us out on this subject. What do you think of Tony Khan?
Tony Khan the first? All right. My take on it was back then, Tony Khan probably wasn't the guy, but I do agree with what each and every one of you said. It was mostly the fans that came together and brought the whole thing into fruition. Without the fans, without us wrestling fans, wrestling like AEW wouldn't exist. Do I think Tony Khan was the guy then? Man, probably. Do I think he's the guy now? Absolutely not, because I don't like the booking he's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
Okay. Cool.
He needs to turn a book over to somebody else.
Yes,
he does. Hiroshi Tanahashi does a better job booking than Tony Khan. And Tanahashi's doing his thing over in New Japan.
My 7-year-old granddaughter can do better booking than Tony Khan.
But and I might be giving Bobby some fuel for his rant on this though, but it frustrates me that Tony Khan has great minds in that company that he's not utilizing.
Yep.
He's listening to the wrong people.
Yep.
He needs a booker, preferably an old school one. He's got plenty of them to choose from. He needs to give creative control to someone.
Yeah.
I want to ask y'all this question. If Tony Khan did have a booker that was more old school, who would y'all want to be the actual booker and why?
Jake the Snake Roberts, because in my opinion, Jake the Snake Roberts is one of the smartest minds in professional wrestling. I wouldn't put him as far as like brilliance on the level of Paul Heyman or anything like that, though. But for what they have, I think Jake the Snake has the best wrestling mind in AEW right now.
One of 4 people.
And the reason I say Jake over anybody they have right now currently is because Arn Anderson, I don't think is there currently. But I think Arn Anderson would have been phenomenal for that role as well.
Okay, 4 people that I think would fit the role: Jake Roberts, Kevin Sullivan, Ric Flair, or Dean Malenko. Any of those 4, the 4 horse bookers would be fantastic in that role.
Horse bookers.
In orders, of course, I would put Ric Flair 4th out of your options.
Well, I mean, he may be a little bit too old school to book AEW today, but it would be a hell of a lot better than Tony Khan doing it by himself.
It definitely would be, yes.
Let me go ahead and answer this. Because one person you're forgetting that actually worked with some of these guys and actually told some of these guys how they were fucking up and how they need to straighten their ass up. And the Young Bucks can't stand them either. And that's Jim Cornette.
That would never happen.
Actually, it would have. I think it would have happened if Tony Khan would have came to Jim Cornette correctly and actually didn't have the Young Bucks as EVPs. In one of his interviews, he even said, I heard who was MVPs. I rolled my eyes and I said no. And he left because they were talking.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan, with the Associated Young Bucks, have flecked a lot of people off. They've ran a lot of people off. And I can't give Tony Khan the credit. I can't give the fans credit either because just like Bryan Danielson said, fans are fickle.
Yes.
They have to have a situation for them to move. And you're gonna laugh when I say this, but I want you to bear with me and let me explain who was the man that put AEW on the map and got them as far as they did. Vince fucking McMahon. If Vince McMahon did not fuck up the booking like he did, if Vince McMahon was not paying $12 million to a chick because he was messing with him in a locker room, if Vince McMahon wasn't trying to do his little fantasies on TV, if Vince McMahon would have sat up there and stuck with Linda, ate her pussy, and kept going with his marriage, if Vince McMahon would have did what he was supposed to do and kept his word, nobody would have took a look at AEW because they would have been pleased with the product they had at WWE. Nobody would have looked at AEW. They would have looked at them like, oh, you're another TNA. Bye.
And thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
But since Vince McMahon screwed up, he handed those keys over to Tony Khan. He was the catalyst that made everything happen. His booking, what that sucked, made everybody say, we need a change. His idiocy made people not to want to stand behind that company for more reasons. His greediness is what had wrestlers leaving, wanting to go to other places that was damn good wrestlers. His fucking fuck-ups is the main reason AEW even is on the map and exists, is because Vince Kennedy McMahon fucked up. And he fucked up royally. He shit on his own fucking head.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Am I lying, though?
Well, you have a point, yes.
Because think about it. Fans are fickle.
Yeah.
They would have never paid attention to it. They're like, oh, WWE is the greatest thing on earth. And he basically took the Ferrari, looked at it, got the keys out, and said, Tony Khan, here, take a ride in my shit. Have a good trip. Please, just wash the car and gas it up before you bring it back. And he wasn't even there to get it back when he got through with it. Triple H took the keys after that. So, yeah, it wasn't Tony Khan. It wasn't the damn fans. It wasn't even Mercedes Moné. It wasn't the Young Bucks, of course. It wasn't Kenny O fucking Mega. It was Vincent Kennedy McMahon himself that brought AEW and made them as viable as they are.
But in defense of Tony Khan.
Fuck Tony Khan.
Okay, fuck Tony Khan. I much better fuck Tiffany Stratton, Mandy Rose, AJ Lee, Trish Stratus.
And thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
It's Tyler Carter. Oh, sorry, I said that out loud. Sorry.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Nikita Lyons. Oh shit, damn.
Oh, that's enough. We got 35 already.
Nikita ain't enough. I need more.
But Vince McMahon has done that shit for years, and AEW is the first one to actually capitalize on it.
But hold on. Think about this though. TNA came along, all right? They could have did it. They fucked up themselves too. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. They could have and did.
Right. But everybody had so much bullshit and they had enough. Because honestly, Tony Khan fucked up at the beginning too. But they had so much. Look, we got a perfect example right next to you, to your left on the screen. This man, I love to death like a brother. But he was so sick of WWE shit until he left. He went all in. When they didn't even go all out, he went all in. And he wanted to support something that is besides WWE. Even now, with the company he loves that fucks up so bad, I think it's my ex-wife married to me again. He still sticks by him because he remembers the time of Vincent Kennedy McMahon being in charge, and he's suspicious that if he goes back, he's supporting McMahon in another way instead of supporting the boys in the back.
Okay.
That right there, that attitude is what he has got. He has got a couple of million people just like the man to your left that's pouring out $60 a fucking pay-per-view just to say fuck you for $10 a fucking month.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Vincent Kennedy McMahon fucking up, that would have never happened.
Okay, I'll concede that. Okay, Vince opened the door.
Open the door. He built that motherfucker. He opened that motherfucker up and let motherfuckers walk through.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
put a red
concede
carpet
that.
on that motherfucker.
Wait,
Okay.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is the difference between Tony Khan and AEW, and we've been dealing with that shit for 25 years.
No, I agree.
Mhm.
But
He's
what
the first one that can successfully take advantage of that shit.
I know what you're saying, but you got to understand, TNA, we haven't been through it that long. So it's like, okay, let it be a pass. WWE will get better. 20 years later, we were sick of the shit. You're like, it's the same shit. We didn't give them chances. Fuck this shit. Who's around that we can run to?
Us. The only one we could run to was
but
us.
that also goes to what Marcus was saying too. The money that Tony Khan brought to the table to get them on TNT, to get them the national exposure, because the other companies probably could have been as successful as AEW if they had the financial backing at the Khans.
Okay. Tony Khan.
Wait.
Well, no. You know why TNA wouldn't have been successful, even with Dixie Carter's pockets? They gave the book to Hogan.
Yeah.
There you go. That fucked them up right then and there.
They were doing great before.
Right. Yep. They
were doing great before that.
Yes, they were.
Okay, I do have to concede that too. I see where Bobby. I see where you're coming from, and I concede that. If Vince McMahon was not such a literal shithead, then AEW would never have existed, and maybe All In would not have existed. But the credit for the groundswell, the grassroots thing that happened at All In, that Cody and the Bucks and Omega and everybody that it was involved in that whole process were able to take hold of, was because guys like you, me, Marcus, Motown, and Ty were sick of the damn monopoly.
Yeah.
We were sick of the virtual monopoly.
I wasn't sick of the monopoly. I was sick of the bad shit. I wasn't sick of the monopoly. I don't mind the monopoly as long as they do right.
No, I was sick of the monopoly. You need competition.
I don't think you do if they do right, though.
No,
why would you need competition if they treat everybody right?
But you're not going to do right with competition. I've seen it.
Yeah, they get lazy, Bobby. That's the point.
Competition in the industry, in any industry, you need competition to stay on your toes and do better. Competition is very important.
Yeah,
but Bobby, check it out. The thing is that you have to have competition. If no other reason, you need to give a boy. I think you agree with this. You need to give boys options. You need to let other know. I don't just have to put up with your shit, Vince. I can go somewhere else and work and make money.
Okay, and on a wrestler standpoint, I get that. On a fan standpoint, though, no. You got to separate yourself on these dynamics. You know what I'm saying?
But the wrestling business, we have gone. I mean, because we're older fans. Ty's the baby of the group, but we're older fans though.
Mama
wrestling's always been better. Even back in the 80s and 90s, it was better with competition. In the 80s, it was like the golden era of WWF versus the NWA. In the 90s, it was WWE versus WCW. Right now, we're getting WWE versus AEW. Wrestling has been better with competition.
But except for that, we never saw a time when there wasn't competition in wrestling until the Evil Empire. So we had nothing to compare it to. And when,
there you go.
When we got it, we saw we didn't like that shit. I mean, there's always competition in wrestling. Day one is always competition.
Yep.
Wrestlers, I mean,
not in the United States, though.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Wrestling was good.
They tried, but it didn't work because TNA never got on Turner, and the ROH never got a major television spot to where they could really show their product off. AEW got onto TBS, and that made all the difference.
No,
that's different because you're not competition without a TV deal.
No. TNA had got to the point. I don't know if you remember, they went up against WWF Monday night, But
on Monday night. Yeah.
I mean, so it built up an audience. Is unfortunately Bischoff and Hogan came in and fucked them up completely.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
that was a bad circumstance.
Were they on? They were on USA or TNN?
They were on Spike TV.
Right.
Spike
So
TV.
they had an opportunity to be competition for WWF. They just
because Spike TV had lost WWE back to USA and everything. So when they was on Spike TV, that was an opportunity. But
WWE was a monopoly in the same way that Microsoft was a monopoly. There were other computer companies out there, but they dominated the market to a point where there was very little market share for anything else. It's just like Google is today. If you walk up to somebody and say Google it, they know what you're talking about. You come up to them and say Bing it, then they don't know what the hell you're talking about. You may be proposing a sex act. And thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
I like to Bing it. Yeah.
Bing is the search engine. See, that's my point. You didn't know Bing was a search engine, but there it is.
Bing, 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 skeet, skeet, skeet. Bing, 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 skeet, skeet, skeet. Yeah.
And thank you for joining us on FTW.
Oh, man.
That's 37. Is that the record? I don't think it is.
We need to Bing it up. I don't know.
Oh, good God.
We need some James Brown in our life.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think our time is up here for this week. On behalf of the Tigress, Ty Nickerson, Marvelous Marcus Buckley, Tony Motown Allen, and the head of our table, the mastermind Bobby Rogers, this is your not so humble correspondent, Robert Black, signing off. We will definitely see you in the future. Hit that James Brown, baby!
Bing it up!
Hit it.
How you feel, brother? Feeling good. You feel good? Feeling good. There's so much bone, brother. How you feel, man? I feel all right. I call your name. I don't want no people to know you're in here. How you feel, fella? Hey, Jam! Sure getting down. Look at him. Ha. We're gonna have a funky good time. 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 Let's take 'em up, Fred. We gotta take you higher. Ow! All right. You wanna do it again? You wanna do it again, huh? Yeah, let's do it one more time. We gotta take